What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to the GameStop Black Friday 2019 breakdown. We are going to be going page by page through this year's ad to fill you in on the best deals from the biggest gaming retailer in the continental United States. Now, with that being said, if this is your first Black Friday video you are watching of mine, thanks for checking it out. But on top of this video, we have breakdowns for Walmart, Target, and Best Buy. But without further ado, let's go ahead and check out what GameStop has to offer later this week. So diving directly into the ad, you see the biggest Nintendo Switch deal that I have seen this holiday so far, and that is a free $25 gift coupon when you buy any new select Nintendo Switch. Now that is, of course, at the regular MSRP price of $299.99 or $199.99, depending on which model of the Nintendo Switch you get. Of course, the Mario Kart 8 bundle is the one that is going big this holiday season. It is the OG Nintendo Switch, but if you do pick up one of these, make sure that it is the new model of the Nintendo Switch. I believe that a lot of these bundles that are being thrown out there are the leftover bundles from last Black Friday, so make sure you get the model with the better battery life. But this is the best deal on a Nintendo Switch Lite that I have seen this holiday season. As I said, these are not on sale, but hey, a free $25 gift coupon, sure, why not? Now moving on to the doorbusters when it comes to the games, you see a lot of good deals here on page number 1. Specifically, Modern Warfare is tied for its lowest price from Walmart at $38. On top of that, this year's Division 2 is only $12. On top of those two, Anthem is down to $5. Now many of you may say, Sam, this is Anthem we're talking about. Is there really a reason to even buy it at this point? And currently, as it stands right now, probably not. But they have said, and rumors have been circulating, that Anthem is going to be rising yet again. So this is a $5 ticket to get you in on what could potentially be a very big comeback later down the line. That is not promised. That is something that has been rumored. That is something that has been circulating. But still, for $5, it's one of the year's biggest AAA releases. And I mean, again, it's only $5. Additionally, Borderlands 3 for $30 is a fantastic deal. Again, just $1 more than its lowest price that I have seen of $29. Additionally, Mortal Kombat 11, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, both $28, and this year's 3 big sports games, NBA 2K20, Madden 20, and FIFA 20, all going for $28. So if you are going Black Friday shopping for some of the year's biggest games, GameStop could be a pretty good one-stop shop for you. Now at the bottom of the page, there are some console deals that are worth pointing out. Of course, you have this year's standard save $100 on a PS4 Slim, which is bundled in with 3 additional big games, including The Last of Us Remastered, Horizon Zero Dawn, and God of War. Totally worth diving into. As I said with the other retailers, this one isn't really at an advantage as compared to any other retailer, but it is the standard and it's worth pointing out. On top of that, with the PS4 Pro, you can save $100 as well, and on top of that, you get a $25 gift card to spend on games or pop vinyl figures or whatever else you want to buy from GameStop. But this is the best deal that I have seen this year for the PS4 Pro, specifically because this is the Glacier White model, which I must say is a pretty system. And on top of that, you get an additional $25, so why wouldn't you go in? Now, on top of those two, you do have the best deal for parents that are trying to get a console for their kid that might be breaking into gaming for the first time. For $99, you can get the original Xbox One 500GB system. This is fantastic for somebody who just wants to play Fortnite. This is phenomenal for somebody who wants to get into Game Pass. This is the best deal you can possibly get as somebody who is just trying to get into gaming. Now, there is the Xbox One S All Digital Edition, which is generally going for around $150. We will dive into that later here in the ad, but for $99, you get a current generation console and the ability to play, at least an entry level, every major game that has come out this console generation, at least the ones that are available on Xbox. So in my opinion, fantastic deal here, definitely worth checking out. Now diving into pages 2 and 3, because there are some phenomenal deals here as well, many of which have been repeated from other retailers, but I am going to hit the highlights to let you know what I would personally pick up from this giant slew of fantastic deals. You have Spider-Man Game of the Year Edition for $20. A fantastic deal because of how much game there is here. It's a very easy platinum whenever you are going for the base game, but on top of that, with the DLC, it's very fun, very fleshed out, and it is the best superhero game that I have ever played, totally worth $20. On top of that, Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the generation's biggest games from Rockstar, is down to $30. This one is one that can also be found on the PlayStation Network, on top of many other retailers, generally retailing for around $30 on the PS4 and the Xbox One, but still worth mentioning here. here. On top of that, Gears 5, a fantastic Xbox One exclusive that I played earlier in the year, and if you don't have Xbox Game Pass, this is your opportunity to dive in for $30. Now diving into the games below the headliners here, Days Gone is only $20. On top of that, you also have Spyro's Reignited Trilogy down to $25. Need for Speed Heat is only $40. In addition to this, Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered down to $14.99 or $19.99 if you do want to get the Nintendo Switch version. Now also worth mentioning here, you have Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled on the Nintendo Switch for $25, Sekiro for $27.99, and of course Resident Evil 2, one of the best games of the year, is down to $20. Definitely worth checking out on that one. Now diving into the PS4 section of the ad, you have repeats of the first two deals we saw on the front of the ad with the consoles, and then a couple of good deals on accessories. You have up to $26 saved on DualShock 4 controllers, on top of $15 knocked off the price of 12 months of PlayStation Plus. But additionally, you have this trash. I wouldn't recommend any of this stuff in the middle, but then you have PSVR bundles. You can save $100 on both of them, and on top of that, you get a free $25 gift card when you buy a new PSVR headset bundle. So one does come with the Move controllers and the camera, which includes Blood and Truth and Everybody's Golf VR. Blood and Truth, a very good narrative-driven VR experience, one of the best we've seen so far, especially for the PSVR. But then you have the $199 bundle, which includes the camera, the PSVR headset, and then you get PlayStation Worlds, I believe is what it's called. Then you have Astrobot, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Skyrim, and Everybody's Golf. So a little bit of something for everyone. As I described it on yesterday's video, this is pretty much the Wii Sports of PSVR. You get a little sample of everything, but of course these are higher quality games, all things considered. Moving on to the deals that are front and center, you have the PlayStation 4 Gold wireless headset, which I just talked about, for $69.99, knocking about $30 off of the MSRP price. That's a good deal, but don't undersell the value of just using a pair of earbuds. I run a podcast and I love using these earbuds. That's all that I use. I've had many pairs of headphones, some of which are professional grade, some of which are just basic gaming headsets, but for me, I just love having this pair of Sony regular headphones. They're $30, so take that into consideration. But if you do want a pair of wireless headphones for the PlayStation 4 exclusively, that is the pair to get. Now, on top of that, you do have some games that are worth diving into on the main page as well of the PlayStation 4 portion. Specifically at the bottom, the PlayStation hits are all down to $9.99, knocking about $10 off of their $20 price tag. And of course, standouts include 2018's God of War, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, Horizon Zero Dawn Collector's Edition. Complete edition. Just kidding, no statues or anything with that. But specifically here, Gran Turismo Sport, one that I think a lot of people overlooked, is also down to $10. This game has gotten continual updates throughout its entire life cycle. On top of that, it's also compatible with PSVR if you happen to pick up one of the headset bundles. So the $10 tier of the PlayStation Hits is definitely a slew of hidden gems waiting to be discovered. Jumping back up at the top, you do have Devil May Cry 5 front and center for $20. A fantastic deal for a game that is nominated for multiple game awards in December. Monster Hunter World Iceborne is down to $40. Don't think that's the lowest, but still a good deal for a phenomenal game. Concrete Genie, a recent PlayStation exclusive, is down to $20, which I gather is pretty much right where it needs to be a good bang for your buck. And on top of that, I also want to mention that Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Rainbow Six Siege are both down to $15, games that continuously add more and more content. Of course, Assassin's Creed Odyssey recently got its final DLC piece, but there is still hundreds and hundreds, potentially thousands of hours of gameplay in that one. Also, Nier Automata, $20. Good deal. Now diving into the Xbox One portion of the ad, you do have some console bundles that were not shown off on the front page, and they are relatively good deals, especially this one on the right, but we will go from left to right. Of course, you do have the Xbox One S 1TB Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order console bundle down to $199, saving you $100 off of the price tag itself of a regular base Xbox One S, but on top of that, you get one of the biggest games of the year, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, thrown in for free. Then you have the Xbox One X 1TB NBA 2K20 console bundle. This is the limited edition with a specific GameStop exclusive paint aesthetic to it, and of course down to $349 from $499. Not the best deal I've seen on an Xbox One X, but if you do want the world's most powerful console on top of one of the biggest sports games of the year, then this is the console bundle to get. But for those that are looking for something a bit more entry level, for $150, you can get the Xbox One S 1TB all digital edition with Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, and a Fortnite bundle. again, down to $150. Now, this is, of course, the console that does not have a disc drive. You cannot put any kind of physical media into it, but for those that are looking for something for their kids, for those that are getting into Game Pass for the first time, and you just want to download your games, this is fantastic. Of course, the Xbox One can have external hard drives and whatnot, so you're good to go on that. But if you did want to get a good entry-level console bundle, aside from the $99 console that we saw on page 1, this is also a fantastic deal that gives a little bit more of a bump as compared to that base Xbox One. Now, diving into the rest of the Xbox One section, you can save $10 on controllers, which is fine in and of itself. The price varies depending on if you get the base controllers or one with a fancy color coding skin on it. But on top of that, you can save $10 on Xbox Live Gold, but the big deal really comes with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. You get 3 months of access for $26.99, about 40% off of the regular price. Now, this is good because it does include Xbox Game Pass for both console as well as PC on top of Xbox Live itself, so that gets you access to everything you need for the Xbox experience. Now, moving on, there are a couple of accessories down here. Again, pretty much the same as the PlayStation offering. Not really anything that stands out to me aside from this SteelSeries 3 headset right here. This one's $40, and I've heard good things about the Arctis 3. I believe that's what that is actually pronounced. I always called it the Arctic 3, but that's probably my mistake. But I have heard good things about SteelSeries, so if you are looking for a cheap headset to give your kids, aside from this Turtle Beach Recon 50X, maybe that could be a really good, easy out. You could also get the SteelSeries, which I have heard good things about. Now, moving on to the centerfold of the Xbox One offering, I suppose Far Cry New Dawn is the big standout for me for $14.99. You could round up and say $15, but a lot of these other games are included with Game Pass. In fact, the majority of them are. So I would probably pass on all of these if you have Game Pass, but aside from that, the deals are pretty much middle of the road. I've seen both Borderlands Game of the Year Edition and the Handsome Collection for lower prices than that in the past. Fallout 4, an older game at $20 for the Game of the Year Edition. I suppose that's fine. Overwhelmingly, the rest of these are passes, but Far Cry New Dawn I've heard good things about. That could be one to dive into. Now, moving on to the Nintendo Switch portion of the ad, we see the exact same deals from the front page replicated yet again. The free $25 gift coupon with the Nintendo Switch consoles is available, and on top of that, you get a free copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the original Nintendo Switch. But again, it's not worth getting the older model of the Switch just to get a free copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The new model has better battery life, so be sure you get that new SKU because you'll be kicking yourself later if you cave and you get the older one. Again, just make sure. I'm just here for you to keep you safe. It's what I do. But then the rest of this front page really has nothing to write home about. A couple of low-end accessories. I don't really see anything worth talking about here. You can get a pre-owned Switch for $250 if you did want to save some money, but again, that is guaranteed almost to be the older model. Now, moving on to the centerfold, you do have some pretty good games worth talking about for the Switch. You have Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition, both on sale for $20 and $50 respectively, and on top of that, some older games that also stand out. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, a game that I played when I had a Switch, down to $20, but Killer Queen Black down to $20, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD down to $30, NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 for $15 could be a pretty good deal. That one had a bit of a hit and miss whenever it first came out, but as we said on yesterday's episode, which covered the Best Buy ad, I believe, Enter the Gungeon you can never go wrong with. Always a phenomenal game, and that one is down to $20. Also worth mentioning is the small Lego section here. Now, as far as the kits themselves go, I'm not really into that, but every Lego game down below is $20, which includes the Harry Potter games, the Incredibles, DC Super Villains, Lego Movie 2, a lot of good stuff to dive into here if you were a big fan of the Lego series. So again, here is a quick screenshot of all the games. Jurassic World, Lego Worlds itself, which is pretty much a Minecraft knockoff. Definitely good for those that are looking for games for their kids for the holiday season, or if you just want to have a bit of a laid-back gaming experience. Lego games are always a good time, especially on date night. Trying to hook you up. Now we're moving on to the miscellaneous portion of the ad, where this is a whole bunch of stuff that no one really wants, and they just threw it onto some pages and said, hey, let's put it in. So the main standout here, aside from saving 40% on holiday apparel, calendars, and ornaments, because nothing is better at the office Christmas party than an ugly PlayStation sweater, Okay, the standout aside from that is the save 30 bucks on all certified refurbished or pre-owned older last-gen systems on top of stuff like the Wii U. So the big standout for me is an Xbox 360 for $30. On top of that, a PlayStation 3 for $60. Again, the same kind of sentiment that I share for the original Xbox One is shared here. If you are looking for something to get somebody into gaming, 30 bucks gets you access to a console that has thousands of games on it. The Xbox 360 was rich with gaming content to play, and on top of that, it's a pretty good Netflix machine as well. I believe it still has the app on it. The PlayStation 3, a similar kind of situation. You have the Uncharted series, you have The Last of Us, you have so many good God of War games even, on top of many other games like Killzones 1 and 2 available on the PlayStation 3. I think Killzone 1 was a PS2 game, but Killzone 2 and Killzone 3 both available on the PS3. So with all that being said, these two are standouts here. Vita also honorable mention, and on top of that, $100 for a new 3DS XL. Very good deal as well. To kind of conclude the miscellaneous section, you do have the traditional deals of buy two get one free on all pre-owned PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and 3DS games, which is going to save you a bundle, especially if you go for the older games. Again, mentioned here in the ad are Halo 5, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Uncharted 4, Thief's End, Super Mario Odyssey. That is a very wide swath of games that you can get for, again, 3 for the price of 2. Then you can get buy one, get one free on all pre-owned 360, PS3, DS, Wii, Wii U, and Vita games. And that's some serious cash you're going to save there, because a lot of these games are between $2 and $3, many under 10. So again, that is a lot of bang for your buck if you're going for the last generation, especially if you go back and pick up one of these consoles that I just told you about. I mean, for literally less than the price of a fully priced brand new title on the PS4, you could get an Xbox 360 and potentially between 5 and 10 games. Then we have these pages, which is pretty much a conglomeration of deals that I don't think they really knew what to do with. This is so confusing because there are so many games, but some of the standouts for me include Yakuza 2 and Yakuza 3 for 15 bucks a piece. Of course, these are the remastered versions on the PlayStation 4. Shenmue's 1 and 2 are 15 bucks altogether. That's great if you were trying to get the $35 deal at Best Buy, which gives you Shenmue 3. Then you do have, of course, at the bottom of the page, the Sega Genesis Mini down to 50 bucks. Fantastic for those that are collecting the miniature consoles. In the $25 tier, you do have Far Cry 5 down to 15 bucks. I should have said $25 and under. Well, you know, logistics. But Far Cry 5, 15 bucks, phenomenal game. Really enjoyed the story on that one. Metal Wolf Chaos XD. Chaos? Ooh, that sounds spicy. Chaos XD down to 15 bucks, a classic, cult classic, really, that has been remastered, remade, whatever you want to call it, by Devolver Digital. A fun little one right there. Then Darksiders 3 up here on the top left, sneaking in for 10 bucks, a very good deal. And then, of course, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition for $20, which is pretty much run-of-the-mill, but still worth playing if you have not gotten a chance to this generation. Outside of that, nothing really to write home about for the rest of what we see down here. Maybe Hitman 2 for 20 bucks if you are into that kind of thing. But moving on over to the games for all, starting at $29. Control is the big standout here, which I think is one of the year's most underrated games. Then, of course, you do have the Baldur's Gate collection here for $29 as well. But outside of that, nothing really standing out as a big deal aside from Shenmue 3 down here for $39.99. Of course, that's $5 more than at Best Buy. But hey, if you happen to be at GameStop and you don't want to go to the chaos that will be Best Buy, then by all means, $5 lets you go home. And so we finally make it to the final page, which includes a ton of PC gaming peripherals on top of some streaming essentials down here at the bottom, which we will dive into. But first and foremost, this is a very good deal on the Vive Pro Starter Kit, which includes everything you need to get started in the world of VR. Of course, you have the Vive Pro headset itself on top of 2 Steam VR base stations and 2 Vive controllers. That's saving you $300. Then you have the Vive Pro VR headset itself for $599, knocking $200 off of the price, and then a couple of other Vive deals as well. But I will say, VR, still for me, an up in the air kind of situation. I'm not totally in on it, but I'm not totally out on it either. So hey, if you are in the market for a VR experience, this one might be one you want to dive into. But as of right now, not really in my books. Now, diving into the headsets again, scrolling through, I'm not a big headset aficionado, but I do know the A50s are always a really good go-to for a lot of people, and those have $60 knocked off the price of the wireless model. Of course, for the entry-level kind of gamer, I suppose I would probably recommend the Astro A10 here for $50. That's a pretty good one, and on top of that, you can get the Call of Duty edition for the exact same price, saving you an additional $10 on top of the $10 off of the base model itself. Now, when it comes to the streaming essentials, that word, that's being thrown around liberally. Let me make it very clear. This chair for $109, don't buy it. It's hot garbage. On top of that, these special controllers, wouldn't recommend either of them. You don't really need a Scuff. You don't really need a Razer Wolverine. Just get a base controller. Honestly, that's not really any of my stuff. But I will say, this webcam, the Razer Kaio, also pretty much hot trash. But the mic, the Razer Siren X gaming microphone, down to $70 instead of $100. That's a pretty good basic streaming microphone. The capture card, the Ripsaw HD, passable. But the microphone, that one's probably worth actually checking out if you are in the market for a brand new mic. Now, looking at the mice and the keyboards, again, this is something that I'm not totally into, really. I have had many keyboards in the past. For me, I prefer 10 keyless, which includes the Sans number pad kind of model, but overwhelmingly nothing really to write home about here. You're only saving a couple of bucks outside of the Razer Black Widow, which you are saving $40 on. But the mice, I will say, the one that stands out to me is the Logitech 502 Hero. You're only saving $10. A very good mouse if you happen to be in the market for one, but again, that generally goes very much so lower than that on other retailers. So when it comes to the PC stuff, probably a lot of this is skippable, but again, to each their own. And that rounds out the GameStop Black Friday 2019 breakdown. Of course, let me know what you are going to be picking up. Did anything catch your eye? And on top of that, I would love to know your thoughts as to what I might have missed if I did miss anything. Of course, that's going to pretty much round up the rest of the Black Friday coverage. I might make a video on the PlayStation and Xbox stores, considering there are many games on sale, but be sure to check back because you never know when new deals are going to go live. But until next time, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks for watching the Black Friday coverage, and peace.